Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. As you can see, we have some soil samples in front of you. I was doing a little bit of cleaning in my garden and I happened to find one of the pot which was very old. The soil in this pot has been there around for almost 3 to 4 years, and I wanted to give you an idea of how the soil looks like when it has been conditioned with our compost tea. Now in this soil there are no other nutrients, like I have not added any compost or vermicompost or seaweed granules or seaweed liquid. It was only the compost tea that was used over the years, and you would be able to see how the soil has got conditioned over a period of time. There was a little bit of sand in this, so it was basically 80% of garden soil and 20% of sand to make the soil mix well draining. And right now you can see how fluffy the soil is. It's very loose, very porous, well draining. I can literally tell you that this soil is so much alive at this point of time, despite it being in this pot for almost 3 to 4 years. I was just checking on the soil. You can also see the color of soil is quite different. The soil is very rich. At the same time, I have this fresh soil that I had taken out from the grow bag, which I had got some plants from the nursery. You can see how thick and hard the soil is. The soil was pretty much the same like this, what's there in this pot, but over the years of using the compost tea, it has completely changed the texture of the soil. The soil is very fluffy, very breathable at this point of time, and I'm sure any plant that I'm going to put in this will thrive. You can already see there is one TrustBasket zebrina that is growing. Because I had not watered this pot for a very long time, it was neglected, and now because of the monsoon season, the rain has added some moisture to this pot. So probably there was one stem of the TrustBasket zebrina that was present in this, and you can see it is now starting to grow. This is how usually the forest soil also tends to look like. The forest soil is also very fluffy, very loose, porous, well draining, breathable for any plant. But when you tend to go into a forest, and if you're going to dig a couple of inches, you're not going to get a soil that looks like this color. It's going to be more like this dark color. Now this is again very old soil, but this is more darker in color. If you're wondering why so, because this had a large amount of coco peat. Now ideally coco peat is brown in color, but over the period of time it will turn dark in color, it will turn black in color, because again coco peat is an organic material. It is not completely decomposed when you get it. It's brown in color, but it's not completely decomposed. Over the period of time, once it comes in contact with water, soil, moisture, humidity, it will start to break down further, which ideally takes around 1 to 2 years. But the coco peat will break down and it will eventually turn darker in color. It will get mixed with the soil. So that's why in this it was almost 80% of coco peat and 20% of garden soil, and probably a little bit of sand. This was used for for germination of seeds. That's why I had added a lot of coco peat. But you can see over the time the coco peat is completely decomposed and it is turned darker in color. There is no traces of browns in this because it's completely decomposed. I don't know if you'll be able to see. You can see this. This is how the chunk of coco peat looks, completely decomposed. But again, this is not bad soil. This is very fertile, very high in nutrition. It is going to work out really well still. And this soil, as I told you, this is the recent soil, very hard. Of course, plants will not do quite well in this. They will not be able to spread their roots, expand their roots, or absorb any nutrients from this soil. This soil can turn like this, but it is going to take a very long time. Remember, as I said, almost 3 to 4 years. I used to continuously use the compost tea, and over the period of time it has got conditioned. The same thing how it works in the forest as well. The upper layer, couple of inches of the forest layer soil is going to be darker in color. The reason behind that is because of the amount of leaves, fruits, flowers, branches that tend to fall. they settle on the upper layer of soil. So again, depends where you are digging. You are going to find a lot of mulch, you are going to find a lot of dark matter, but the moment you go deeper, you will start getting that brown soil which is completely conditioned, because whenever it tends to rain, the water passes through all of that mulch and enters into the soil. Remember, as I said, the water infiltration also increases with the help of mulch, so that soil is very well conditioned. Hence the forest floor is alive, it is rich. There's a lot of microorganisms, everything is alive on the forest floor. As much as you see those trees, flowers, plants, animals, birds, even the soil is alive in the forest floor. Similarly, you won't be able to find a soil that looks like this in a forest floor, because this is a very clay soil. But this soil will also turn into a soil like this over the period of time. That is only if we use this compost tea. So if I keep using this, probably in another year, year and a half or 2 years, this soil will also turn similar to this. It will break down. The compost liquid will break down the clay components in the soil, and it is going to make the soil breathable, airy, loose, porous. So if you have a chance, I would say, if you have the space, if you have a chance, please opt for a compost bin. You don't need to buy a fancy or expensive compost bin. I will put the link in the description below. You can check how you can create a DIY compost bin. It's very simple. I have used a water can and I've kept a bucket beneath to collect all of that liquid, all of that compost tea. Very simple. I didn't even spend a penny on that setup. So if you have space, please, you can start composting. It's just a one-time setup. You don't need to spend any money on that setup, and all you have to do is just use your kitchen waste, and trust me, you are gonna have an unlimited amount of free fertilizers for your plants, which is organic. This soil does not have any kind of chemicals in it. It is very pure, it is completely organic. There is no chemicals whatever used in this, and you can see over the years, if I would have used chemicals, the soil would have lost its fertility over the period of time. The soil kind of gets hungry, it needs more chemical. But when you use an organic solution like the compost tea, the soil becomes rich. It stays rich even after a couple of years. If I would have used chemicals, chemicals work out for a short term. They pollute the soil, they destroy the soil, they destroy the soil structure. The soil becomes infertile over the period of time by using chemicals. Again, it depends if you're using it in a small quantity or in a large quantity. In both cases, the soil will lose its fertility. It will no longer be alive because of all the chemicals in the soil. But when it comes to organic, it is one of the best things. This is what I have been using in all of my garden, and it has been working out really well. All the plants seem to love it, and as I said, it is just like a one-time investment. You just need to prepare the setup and you are going to get unlimited fertilizer for free of cost. So guys, that's about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.